with the karakia. Whakatakatiho ki te uru, whakatakatiho ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai, kia hia ki ana ki ana uru, he teo, he huka, he hohu, turuturu, titi, whakamau, kia tina, tuie, te aikia. Right, we should have Councillor Bingham on Zoom.
And she might be an apology, it depends on how our flight's playing around, so if she's not,
okay,
well,
we'll wait and see whether she materialises or not. We have apologies from Councillors Lean, McIntyre and Mr Muir. Oh, and Neil Walker and Councillor Walker. I move that those apologies be accepted. Can I have a seconder? Anaru, your second?
Thank you.
Okay. All in favour? And moving now to the confirmation of the minutes of the meeting of 3rd September 2024. Are there any corrections? If not, can I have someone move that they are a true and correct record? Tom? Happy to do so. Donna? Your second? All in favour?
Aye.
And moving now to the consent monitoring annual reports. Victoria?
Good day, everybody. Today is the first of our compliance monitoring reports that the team's completed. So we've got 10 for you today. 10 covering, well, 9 actually covering the monitoring year, which is the 23-24 year. And we've got 1 temporary programme, which is wrapping up the seismic campaign that Todd did. So all of them scored high. I'm happy to say a great start for that. So if anyone's got any, I mean, obviously we've got waste disposal facilities, wastewater treatment plants, deep well injection in there. Some hydraulic fracturing. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I'm happy to try and answer them.
And does anyone have any questions for Victoria?
No, I just thought it was great that they were all high.
Yeah, it was really pleasing to see.
Yeah, well, it's worked.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, good start for us. I mean, it's at the beginning, so we'll see how it'll go.
Right. Well, if no one has any questions for Victoria, we are to receive and note the recommendations. Do I have a mover? Mike, I feel you have an urge to move something.
I'll move things.
And Richard, you have a similar urge to second it, do you not? All in favour?
Aye.
And moving on to the next item on the agenda, which are resource consents issued under delegated authority. Leah.
So between 12th of August and 18th of September, we issued 31 discharge consents, 4 land use and 4 water permits. And we also issued 3 limited notified consents, 1 for Port Taranaki, stormwater and washwater discharges, and 2 MPDC discharges. Have any questions?
And
I do like a woman that's to the point.
and Chair, if I could add, the Port Taranaki consents that were processed followed a very long process working with Tangata Whenua and coming up with some really good conditions. I see some nodding occurring to my right, so that was a success for all parties. It took a while, but it's a very pleasing outcome in terms of a pre-hearing process, in essence, working. You compare that, for example, with Remediation New Zealand, with appeal after appeal and cost after cost after cost. A striking difference between the outcome and the relationship between the parties.
Good to hear. Does anyone have any questions for Leah?
I just note my interest with Port Taranaki in relation to
Anaru, what's your comment regarding the process that's been
Early engagements leads to better outcomes for all. It's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Not just when it's, too late.
Yeah.
Or we've done this is what we're going to do.
Well, that positionality, it
Exactly.
Doesn't help. You've got to then break it all down, don't you? I agree. Yeah, Richard.
I've got one just on page 31, the Upper Dudley Road. Just confirming, so their consent's been extended so they can discharge to the hour up until the 1st of December 2024. And then from there on, it's no longer acceptable, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it gives them time to get the system installed in place.
Oh, okay, so it's a timing from their perspective.
Yeah, and the cost.
Anyone else for clarification or comment? If not, Donna, would you like to move that we receive that schedule? And Tom, can you second?
I'll second.
All in favour? So we're now moving on to item 7, incidents. And we have, speaking to that, Jared.
Kia ora, thank you. Through you, Chair. Incidents, compliance monitoring, non-compliances and enforcement, again, 6-week period ending 19 September 2024. Of that, there is 47 incidents, so responses to the public. Of those, 20 were compliant and 23 were non-compliant, which reflects a little bit of a shift in the ratio of compliance versus non-compliance. Often we attend a lot of incidents that are compliant, sort of about a 3-to-1 ratio with what's non-compliant. So it's interesting that there's a flip here. We're attending a few less incidents, but the ratio non-compliance versus compliance is increasing. So whether that's a trend or just a blip will be interesting to see. But maybe we're getting called to more prudent matters which affect this council rather than neighbours at war.
And those that you're finding are non-compliant, are they on a visit from the TRC immediately wanting to rectify the situation and sort it out?
Yeah.
So you're not seeing continuing sort of opposition or resistance?
No, not at all. Very, very little repeat visits. So there's always those few round backyard burnings, but again, we keep a good register and we don't go back to any dwellings twice, very, very rarely. So most of the incidents we do deal with are one-offs. And we've got the enforcement strategy and policy to ramp up on those repeat offenders if we need to.
Does anyone have any questions for Jared? Donna?
One, just it's great that they're decreasing, but have we done something to make them decrease? Are people more aware that you're going to look at 100%?
No, we haven't done anything intentionally, but we've stuck to our guns over a number of years and we respond to every complaint, whether it's immediate 4 hours, if we think, if there's an effect on the environment out to 7 days, but we respond to every single complaint. And I think it's just a matter of doing that time after time after time, rather than getting a complaint and issuing a strongly worded letter. We'll go and talk to people face to face. And I think that does make a difference.
Logically would. Nothing like seeing a real person as opposed to a letter that you screw up and throw on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And it often gives the opportunity to deal with other issues or other questions while we're there, to eliminate other issues potentially.
And maintains or builds relationships.
Yeah, works well. One slight amendment which I'd just like to bring to your attention is page 78. There's a non-compliance to do with ENF 24523 with Lupton, a water take. It says that there's no further action. There's actually 2 infringement notices that have been issued for that. So that'll get populated again in the next agenda, just for a matter of completeness.
Mike, you had a question?
Yes, I just one comment there, Madam Chair. On page 67, the geotextile bag washing up on Opunaki Beach. Should we seek reparation from the Opunaki Artificial Reef Trust? Because there would have been a cost to that.
So, you, Madam Chair, we have sought reparation. We do hold some funds. The funds are rapidly being expended. Members may recall that we've hired consultants to cut the bags and let the sand naturally wash out and then let the bags naturally wash up on the beach. So this is a process that will be ongoing for a number of years.
So they had paid for it?
Eventually we received the funds, yes.
Eon.
So just another comment there, if I may, Chair. I think we put some money into that, didn't we, Fred, as TRC or not? Okay, thank you.
We were the regulator, Madam Chair.
And I have a conflict with Ravenstown too, Chair.
Dion,
Just a question around the compliance monitoring rounds for the annual dairy inspection. 15 non-compliances, is that roughly around where they usually sit?
It's actually slightly lower than usual. There's approximately 300 to 350 systems out there that are either oxidation ponds, contingency to water, or dual discharge. So there's roughly 300 to 350 that can be sampled. We're sampling them all every year, and there will be a few come through this agenda and mainly next agenda. The reason they come through in one foul swoop is the whole team get out there, and there's sort of 15 officers sampling them all at once to deal with them. The non-compliance rate at the moment is sitting around 6% for sampling, which is slightly lower. We've been up to 13 or 14% in the past. So it is slightly lower than other years at this point.
anyone got anything else for Jared? If not, can I have someone move that we receive and note and adopt recommendations and memoranda as indicated? Mike, if you would move, Anaru second.
I'll move that, see.
Oh, Mike, it's actually
You
declared a
go to
conflict.
conflict.
Good night,
I'll
everyone.
move that, Chair.
Okay, Tom
Thank you.
moves, Anaru seconds, all in favour?
Aye.
And so we're now on to item 8. And Leah, let's hear from you again.
So we had an application filed in the new Plymouth District Council to erect a replacement bridge and harbour protection structure, and then occupation of the coastal space, which was publicly notified. That was a little bit unusual in that the district asked us to publicly notify the consent in order to align our process with their process. There was one submission received in support and one that opposed it. But through discussions, both of those withdrew their submission to be heard, and the consent recommendations here.
So through you, Madam Chair, any applications that are notified and where submissions are resolved, come back to you under the delegation to approve. Anywhere the submissions aren't resolved, go to a hearing committee, you delegate your decision to that hearing committee. They make the decision in your behalf, and then you hear about their decision by that being reported back. So this is somewhat unusual, but you get to see this type of application.
Right, Richard.
I just want to clear conflict here. I've been helping Ngāti Tāori and the whānau Hauranga regarding this process with the council. So I'm happy to step out.
I think it's appropriate that you should. If you're going to declare a conflict, I'll ask you to do just that. Oh, you apparently can sit at the back.
Oh, can I?
According to the boss, but you can't sit at the table. Right. Now, I have to say it was a very well-written paper, incredibly comprehensive and thorough. So I commend that. So who has a question for Leah?
It seems to be a good outcome, actually. It's needed, so the sooner it gets done, the better. So good to all that they've come to a resolution that we can move forward.
Okay.
I think it was really thoroughly, well, from my point of view, but really thorough.
Because it's a difficult one being on the foreshore and with the river as well.
As I say, I thought the report was really particularly clear and comprehensive. Leah, sorry, I've
I was
interrupted
just
you.
going to say, we envisaged that it would go to a hearing, so we had to be quite careful, and then looking at where our delegations lay, where the districts lay. That's good outcome.
Right, I'm just going to welcome Benita, who I see is not in her togs, but wearing a jumper in Hawaii, which seems a bit odd.
I'm in Manaia.
Ah, that'll be why you got the jumper on.
Literally just landed. I had hoped to join you all, but my flight got cancelled last night, so I've literally just got on from Plymouth.
Well,
So,
welcome home.
kia ora.
He's got the jersey on.
I'm happy to move the recommendations here on page 89.
I'll second it.
You'll second that? All in favour? Thank you. So we're moving now to go from 8 to nothing. Right, public excluded. Can I have someone move that we
Yeah.
go into public excluded. Donna, seconded Anaru.
Got it.
All in favour?
Well,